Imagine you are working with a bike company and you would like to track how many bikes are available in your city or at different locations. You would also like to know that when you have to restock the bikes, that means you want a continuous monitoring on those particular bikes. How can you do that? Can you create a real-time dashboard which is going to help you to select the location and you can check the availability of bikes? I'm sure you have been into certain locations where you can see that in real time how many slots are available for the parking or how many particular items are available in a supermarket that we can track using real-time dashboard. So if you're interested in this topic and you would like to create your own real-time dashboard using Microsoft Fabric, then this video is for you. Please stay tuned with me till the end of this video and I'm gonna let you know step by step how you can create your own real-time dashboard. Now, as you can see on my screen, there is a real-time dashboard that I have created. Over here, there is a parameter. You can select all the different location or just one location, and it's going to show you the data about that. You can also refresh it. I have scheduled the auto refresh and everything. This is gonna really help you out. Now, the question is how we are gonna create it. Well, the very first you have to do, you should have your Microsoft Fabric capacity license. You can also use the trial license. Secondly, you should have a knowledge of KQL language or the KQL databases, how to operate them. And thirdly, this video is not about any KQL language test or related items, but this is going to show you step by step how you can easily create your own real-time dashboard. And I'm sure this is going to help you out. So what we are going to do, very first, we are going to quickly create our Eventhouse because Eventhouse is going to be required to ingest the real-time data in KQL database. I'm going to just filter out Eventhouse over here. This is my Eventhouse and I'm going to name it bike rental data. Now you must follow the naming convention over here. So I'm just going to keep it like this. Now this is your Eventhouse and now you can see on your left hand side, there is a bike rental data named KQL database. So it's going to be the same name as your Eventhouse. What we are going to do, we are going to get the data first. So go over there. We are going to use the event stream and we are going to create a new event stream over here. I'm going to call it bikes and we can create it. You can give it any name, doesn't matter. Once you do that, it's going to take a couple of seconds and then it's going to show you a new window where you can connect to your data source if you have already. You can also use your custom endpoints or you can use the sample data. We are going to go with the sample data over here. So click over here. We are going to call it bicycle. That's the data over here. We are going to simply add it. And now you're going to see a new interface over there. And what you have to do over here, you have to simply transform event or add a destination. But let the data pop out over here so that you can see that what is bicycle data, how it's going to populate over here. Now you can see that you have the bike point ID, street, neighborhood, latitude, longitude, and number of bikes. What we are going to do, we are going to simply come over here and we'll try to select the Eventhouse. Here is your Eventhouse name that you can give it. And again, I'm going to call it first event processing before ingestion. This is important. You can give it any name and I'm again going to call bike rental data. And I'm going to say this only. This is my workspace, Eventhouse. I can select the bike rental data again. I'm just keeping the same name. I hope this is not going to create any problem. This is my database name. And when it's come to a table, I'm going to create a new table by name bikes. If you are not following this, please slow down the speed of this video. And also what you can do, you can also select the language. There are multiple language options are available if you would like to watch this video in Hindi or Spanish or German. Please do that. That's going to help you out. Now I'm going to simply save it. And then what I can do, I can publish it. So this is the part where I'm getting data into my Eventhouse. And you can see that it has been published successfully and you would see the preview of the data as well over here. Now we are just going to wait for a couple of seconds and then we are going to go back to our Eventhouse. There's one very important thing over here about the authorization of data source. So there are two kinds of authorization available. One can be the editor's permission. That means the editor who has created this dashboard, for example, over here me. so everyone can view their dashboard with the same permission. Another is each participant or each user can have their own permission, which we also call the pass-through one. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to go back to our bike rental data. This is my data and these are my tables over there. We want to create a new real-time dashboard. So come over here on the top ribbon, click over here. You can give it a name, my real-time bike dashboard or bike monitoring. Now create. Over here, we are going to use certain queries, and for that you must have the knowledge of KQL or Kusto query language. If you don't have, then it's going to be a bit of challenge, but still we can do that. It's pretty easy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just get in the last 30 minutes how many bikes are available and not. So I'm going to click over here and I'm going to paste this query. This is just checking the ingestion time between last 30 minutes, and then it's going to provide me the summary. Simply run this one, and guys, once again, if this video is too fast for you, you can slow down the video and watch it slowly, follow step by step. I'll also provide you a link in the description section so that you don't face any issue with that. Plus, you can let us know of your feedback, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you are till here, and then share this video with your friends and your colleagues. Now it's saying no rows to show, so we are gonna run it again, and here our rows are over there. So we are going to apply the changes. Over here you can see it's in a table, but we can change it. So what I want to display over here, bar stacked chart. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna give it a name, bike locations. You can fill any of the description you would like to. We don't need it. Then it's gonna ask whether table or this. I'm gonna say bar chart. Under bar chart, I'm gonna also select the stacked bar chart. There I can select my longitude, latitude over here. So this is my bar column. So I'm going to say this one, no bikes and no number of empty docks. These are the two fields I needed over here. And if I'll go the series column, I can select this neighborhood, but we don't need the series actually. We need the X column over here, which is the neighborhood. That's all we needed. In the legend, just keep it the bottom, or you can change the position if you would like to. I believe if you are watching this video, you are already very well versed about how to create a dashboard or how to work with that, isn't it? So these are the only things that I'm going to do for now, and simply apply the changes. And here's your very first tile where you have your very first visualization. I'm going to create another visualization as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create new tile. Over here, I'm going to use another query. And guys, I'm using Microsoft documentation for these queries and all, so that you also don't face any more challenges while you are trying to create it. In this part, I'm going to use another query, and I'm going to copy it from my desk. And this time I'm going to create a map. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this query and run it again. And here you can see the data. So this time we are going to give it a new name while applying the changes. Again, you can edit it. Bike map, like where you can find the bike. I'm just giving it any name. You can give any other, and I'm going to select the map over here. Once the map is there, longitude, latitude is there. In the longitude column, you have to select the longitude. In the latitude, you have to select the latitude. And you can also show this one and size based on the number of bikes. This is how it's going to work. Now you have done it. Apply the changes and do it there. You can select like this, or you can also make any more adjustments if you would like to. I would like to keep it like this. This looks beautiful, isn't it? So far what we have done, we have connected with our Eventhouse where there was a KQL database. The KQL database is ingesting data now to this dashboard over here. If you would like to create some parameters, that also can be done. Like I said, you have to first put the name of the parameter over here, then you have to provide the type of the parameter, etc. So I'm gonna say the name of the parameter, you can give it any, but I'm gonna select neighborhood, and I'm gonna say multiple selection. If you want to provide some description, you can do that. Variable name is important that you are gonna need, because we are gonna use a query that is gonna query the data and it's gonna give you the name. So I'm gonna call it selected neighborhood. You can change it, by the way, if you would like to. String, select all, query, and I have to edit the query because here I would like to use a query that can query the data, and this query is simply getting you distinct neighborhoods, nothing else, and then sorting them out. Save it, and then we have this one over here. Now value column is my neighborhood, label column, match value section, add this one and also this, and default can be select all. That's all. If you want to select one, that's also possible. Now you see you have this one, and you can select or unselect any, and you can apply it if you would like to. It will take some time, and then you can save your dashboard over here. That's it. Here is our real-time dashboard, and now you can see that it has been refreshed as well. But if you are a user, you can also manually refresh the data from here. That's how it's going to work. One very important point over here that we need to discuss is about how you are going to set up the refresh of this. Like I said, it has to be real time. So if you want to make it real time, please come over here, manage, auto refresh. Here you have to enable it. By default, it's disabled. And then you can say all refresh interval, and you can also select default, which is 30 seconds or 30 minutes, whichever you would like to, and apply it. Voila, you have done it. That's your real-time dashboard using Microsoft Fabric. Now, one more point that I would like to highlight over here, that if you would like to create more pages, just come over here. You can rename this page, duplicate this page, and create a new page. If you're going to create a new page, that's also fine. Here you would like to add a new query. So the same way, you can come here, and let's say this time you would like to add some more information regarding the bikes over here. So what you can do, you can simply copy and paste, and I hope this is going to give me some results, and this is my result. Now I'll say save and apply. I can put it over here so that anyone who would like to have more details, they can have a look in this page. There are certain more details that I really would like you need to try. So there's the option of base query. Base query is nothing but one query that can be used throughout this entire dashboard or multiple pages or multiple visualizations. This is something that you should do it yourself. Do let me know what do you think about this video. Leave your comment in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and also share this video with your friends and your colleagues. I'm going to see you in the next video.